food in the pot. Why? Follow the main road. There's a flood. Follow the main road. 9 o'clock in the day. You can't see your way. Why? Traffic on the highway. Traffic on the highway. Organized crime. Disorganized crime. Everywhere you turn. Crime and more crime. White collar crime. Blue collar crime. No color crime. We're running out of time. Your salary cut. Follow the main road. Follow the main road. 9 o'clock in the day. No way to get paid. Traffic on the highway. Traffic on the highway. Bills, bills, bills and more bills. Bills, bills, bills and more bills. Spent, nothing to show. That's how it go in a land named Trinidad. Check this. Nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, 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 nothing. Public health fail, public works fail, local government fail, central government fail. Nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing to walk. 57 years, tears, tears, tears. 57 years, prayers, prayers, prayers. Nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing to walk. No bread in the kitchen, no gas in the car, no water in the pipe. Everybody by the bar, hole in the pavement, hole in your shoes, hole in your wallet. There's only holes for you. Nothing to walk, nothing to walk, nothing, nothing, nothing to walk.
Everything out of control. Gunman and she hold it like that.
Let it play. No, I want it, you know. Take it. She have the radio now. Friday night. Time to unspin the spin. Welcome to the no bullshit zone. The only place he has come to for the truth. Calypso music. Calypso. Right. How about we have this whole video tonight with my tone at this level? How about tonight, instead of discussing any serious issues with you, I'll relax cocked back in my chair. I should go on a stripe jersey and talk to you and spin. Right now, we are going to have to make all our decisions on the advice of the scientific experts that are giving advice to the government. Which scientists giving advice to the government? Terence Dialsing, January, no pandemic. February, we're not cancelling Carnival. March, we have some mild cases. April, it worse than World War I and II and 9/11 combined. By May, if things continue the way they're going, Terence Dialsing will hang himself live to make a point. He'll get good numbers. People want to make sure it's true. Because he's left himself nowhere else to go. It is worse than the 120 million people that died in World War I and World War II. It's worse than the 3,000 people who died on one day, 9/11, when 2 planes slammed into a building. What's Terence trying to say? That this is an act of war? An act of terror? And if Terence is saying that, isn't he the terrorist? Isn't it because of this scientist that we have COVID-19 now? Again, I'm a stickler for fact. Wait, are we talking like this tonight? Are we all going to pretend that we're stunting for the public that is so accustomed to being bullshitted that if I put on a striped jersey and bring a media hack in my kitchen and talk like this, I will sell you shit and you will think it's sugar? Let's see, because that's what Rowley did tonight. Let's see how stupid our people really are. According to the scientist, Terence Dialsing, and whereas Trinidad and Tobago has been advised recently by the World Health Organization of the existence of the 2019 novel coronavirus, 2019 NCOV, a highly infectious and dangerous disease which is currently occurring in various locations around the world. And whereas the Minister of Health believes that due to the speed and ease of international travel, Trinidad and Tobago can ultimately expect the arrival of the 2019 novel coronavirus, 2019 NCOV, and the devastating effect on its public health. Now, therefore, I, Paula May Weeks, President as aforesaid, do hereby declare the 2019 novel coronavirus, 2019 NCOV, to be a dangerous, infectious disease, given under my hand and the seal of the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago at the office of the President Sedans this 31st day of January 2020. Now, my son told me tonight that some people are having difficulty swallowing what I am saying to the nation. But I am accustomed to being ahead of the curve, because in January 2020, I was telling the government, we raised a petition, protect the nation, people will die, this is highly infectious, it is devastating, you cannot have carnival. If you have a carnival, 50,000 people will come through the doors and we won't know which is a ticking time bomb. Today, another one of Keith Rowley's scientists said, if we had transmission during the carnival season, we would have had tens of thousands of cases of COVID in TNT to date. This is from two-step moonwalker Roshan Parasram. the latest scientists to be thrust upon the people of Trinidad and Tobago. No. Yes, sir. I like to make sure when I talking, I only have one tongue in my mouth. Unlike the PNM. To be in the PNM, you need to have at least two tongues in your mouth. Because this same stunting jackass that had 15 minutes of fame passed in 5. This Parasram, the chief medical officer, is the same stunting jackass in response to another question that tried to put him on the spot that says, we don't know if it is 14 days. It could be as high as 44. This is what he said 2 weeks ago. Now the same, boy, let me tell you, I'm trying to keep myself church-worthy. This same, what I call him? What I call Parasram. He says something different. He has a degree for hire. This scientist is leading the public astray. Every time Parasram takes to that podium, you have to ask, sir, which Parasram we hearing from today? Because you don't know. If he said 2 weeks ago that it could take as long as 44 days to incubate, then Parasram must know that that would take us to 2 weeks into April, ahead of where we are. And that's not even talking about dealing with the tens of thousands of cases that he said that we should have, that I am telling you that we do have. We have thousands of cases of coronavirus. But what you need to understand is, and what the World Health Organization keeps saying, but it keeps missing the media, there are coronavirus ranges from mild to severe. As of now, the numbers suggest, including Italy, France, Germany, Spain, and now the United States of America and China, whose numbers have mushroomed like a mushroom cloud, a nuclear bomb. Even keeping those numbers, the severe numbers, 3%. 3% of everybody who is infected. 97%. You see, when you go on World Odometer, let me get the exact number World Odometer gave me today. Because everybody goes to World Odometer to get their facts. I had to tell a young doctor today, ma'am, this is not a pom-pom shorts platform. You can't just come here and fling your platitudes and think that because you have righteous outrage, I have to take it. People seem to misunderstand me as a politician, you know. And they seem to think that I have interest in trading my soul for office, or that I would lie to you for a vote. I was telling my son earlier, I was the person who was ahead of the curve in Carnival when everybody was saying, what wrong with he, boy? He mad or? No. Now the same things that we said would come to pass, and I am going to prove that Carnival infected everybody. And all this imported nonsense that they're selling here is pure inveterate bullshit. There are 1,098,000 cases of coronavirus since November 2019. Started tracking it December 31st, 2019. Since then to now, of the 7,777,000,000 people in the world, there is 1 million cases of coronavirus. Even though we now start the shutdown, and don't get me wrong, we'll come back to the shutdown. We'll come back to that, you know, we have to deal with that. We have to deal with the overreaction, the overcorrection, the mad panic, the screaming, run for the hills. All are we going on dead? You see, all are we going on dead? Those stand up when you look at the actual experience of this country. Forget the rest. Forget the rest. The experience of Trinidad and Tobago. You see, tonight they tell us 5-year-old child got it. I have no doubt. But there has to be more information. What is the severity of the case? Because a 5-year-old child could get it and it may do him nothing, or her. Or this 5-year-old child may get a severe case because their immune system is compromised. We don't know. You did not tell us anything other than the sensational propaganda, fear propagating bullshit and a 5-year-old child got it. But 99% of all the people in Trinidad and Tobago who've tested with symptoms have been people above the age of 60. So does that mean that it proves the point? Or did you have to look and find a 5-year-old? But wait, if you tested everybody in Trinidad and Tobago tonight, there would be about, I would guess, 100,000 cases of coronavirus in this country. Now, I would think they would have about 100,000 cases in Trinidad and Tobago. But all of them will be mild. If you test people and tell them, you know you have coronavirus, they say, don't talk shit. I don't have a symptom. I don't have a runny nose. I don't have a headache. I don't have diarrhea. Because I don't have nothing. Because the vast majority of people who get coronavirus will have no symptoms, will have mild case. You have to have a compromised immune system. People don't understand. I had to explain to my sister today. Human antibodies, white blood cells, their job is to fight and kill anything that comes into your body. That's what they do. There are diseases humans get that kill humans because of an overreaction of your own white blood cells. That is, and it will come to me just now. There's a type of sickness that you could get where your white blood cells get so turned on to killing disease, they start to kill you too. When a woman gets pregnant, her body creates a chemical to block her own white blood cells. Because her white blood cells sees the baby as an invader. See that cell? When it latch on to her fallopian tubes, it sees it as an invader, and her white blood, autoimmune diseases. That is what that means. That's when you trying to kill you. When a woman gets pregnant, her white blood cells try to kill that baby. She has to create a block, a chemical that blocks the white blood cells from seeing the baby. And it is that chemical that women produce in the womb that scientists have extracted and used in patients who get organ transplants, because your white blood cells will kill the organ. You get a kidney donated, and if you don't have that blocker, blocking your white blood cells, they'll kill that kidney. That's their job, and they take their job very seriously. The situation with people with compromised immune systems. There are a lot of different things that can compromise your immune system, including AIDS and HIV, where your immune system is depressed to the point that it cannot handle anything. And 35 million people died from AIDS since it started, since the 80s. Since we got AIDS. In fact, you all have me researching so much. 200 million people died from the Black Plague. 56 million died from smallpox. 40 to 50 million died from Spanish flu. 30 to 50 million died from the plague of Justinian. In fact, that plague is what they believe brought down the Roman Empire. But you see smallpox, the reason we don't have 1 million Warahoon and other indigenous people in Trinidad tonight is because smallpox, the conquistadors, Christopher Columbus and all these European jackasses brought smallpox to the Caribbean and wiped out the indigenous people. That's where they're going, The whole Western world, from Canada to the Falkland Islands, were populated with Apaches and all the different types of Indians and Aztecs and Mayans and Arawaks and Caribs and Incas. The whole Western world had people, natives, in the hundreds of millions. It is smallpox that was introduced. In fact, they've said, I don't know if this is true, that the colonists used to give the Indians smallpox infected blankets to wipe out their communities. It is smallpox that removed 90% of the Native Americans, and 400,000 people died from smallpox every year until the first vaccine ever invented was invented for smallpox. 100,000 a year in Europe alone. There was a second smallpox plague. I'm going to tell you when that was. There was a Japanese smallpox epidemic. You know, we have lots of these plagues that take place in the Far East. There was a Japanese smallpox epidemic that took 1 million people. There was the Hong Kong flu in 1970 when I was 3 years old. That took 1 million people. There was a cholera 6 outbreak. It took 1 million people. The Russian flu took 1 million people. The Asian flu in 1958 took 1.1 million people. So you need to know these things. If the world wasn't as connected as it is now, if 300,000 people didn't leave Wuhan to go and work in Italy, if the world wasn't 1 million planes in the sky at any one time traveling everywhere, we would have heard about this robot plague in China, some place called Wuhan. After about 1 million people dead, we would know. We would never have known that these things were taking place because they take place and we don't take it on. They have plagues that go through Africa. Ebola killed 11,000 people. MERS, I didn't even know about MERS. I knew about SARS. SARS killed 770. MERS killed 850. This is SARS come back with a vengeance. Yellow fever. Yellow fever killed 150,000 people. Swine flu killed 200,000 people. The Great Plague killed 600,000 people. HIV has killed 35 million people to date. And these are numbers to bear in mind when you're looking at the fact that almost 6 months into its existence, coronavirus, despite having a first-class ticket all around the world, coronavirus has only seriously infected 1 million people. And of them, this is not me downplaying death. This is me putting it in perspective to everything else I just told you. Because smallpox killed 56 million people in 1 year. So far, halfway through its rump, coronavirus has only killed 59,000 people. Now that's a lot of people. And it would not have killed that many people if we were not as irresponsible as we are to this new world order bullshit and the greed that is running the world. Because there are people now that will sell their mother and trade their father for food and money. We don't seem to be caring anymore. This is not scary times, Nisha Khan. This is a joke I'm trying to show you. We could put this back in the bottle. We could. Roderick Mackenzie said the battle is lost fighting this coronavirus. In a way, yes. In a way, yes, because you need to know polio still exists. Polio used to decimate people. Thankfully, there's a polio vaccine. And the World Health Organization for the past 40 years have been trying to eradicate polio, but they still get 33, 34 cases a year. And that's a lot. And polio is a devastating disease. Polio is a disease where your body slowly gets paralyzed to the point that your lungs can't work. And you die, you'd suffocate and die. Coronavirus, you're drunk on your own body fluids. None of this is to downplay the seriousness. Now, There are crotch rockets that find themselves to my posts to ask questions. The son of a PNM, diehard sycophantic, Kool-Aid drinking, frontline, throw money and Rowley G-string supporter, his son told me today, my brother had a heart attack at 28 and I fall into a certain category. Would you then say, if you were the leader of this country, that I don't matter? I said, of course not. You matter. But you have a responsibility to yourself too. It is like when I said to the smokers, I watch a woman today in Starlight Drugs buying mask, gloves, sanitizer, and 4 packs of Dumori. And I want to know if she is a jackass or if the mask, the gloves, and the sanitizer was for somebody else. Because you're fighting a disease that attacks your respiratory system, your lungs. So you want to make sure that right now, your lungs in fighting shape. No vaping. No, a man tell me, so you'll make it illegal again. All he saw was smoking. He didn't know what I was talking about. But they want to jump down my throat to make it look like, hey, look, Philip banging weed. Hey, look, Philip. Because that's the narrative they need. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle truth. So they have to find a way to damage truth to fit their lies. And I have to tell the gentleman, son of the Kool-Aid drinking PNMite, we need to protect you. But the only way we could protect you is to educate you and tell you, isolate yourself. Quarantine is like, if somebody come down the road ringing a bell, saying a swarm of killer bees come in, close your windows, and you come outside to see the bees and they sting you and you're dead, you can't blame the person who rang the bell. You blame you. Because the responsibility to protect you is yours. Yours, not his. Yours. So if you have a weak immune system, I am sorry for you. But stay home. The elders. Whole day as we talking to my mother on the father phone, talking them down from the walls that they're climbing because they can't take it. But you have to stay home. Because you fall into a category called at risk. But nothing in the numbers says shutting everybody down is the solution. It is a mad overcorrection and the whole world is making a mistake. Look at the countries that handle it. Look at Vietnam. Vietnam have 800 miles of border with China. Vietnam had 207 cases. Vietnam have 0 deaths. You know what Vietnam do? What I said to do in January. Take COVID-19 seriously. Quarantine anybody that come into your country from today for 14 days. We close for business. We closed for business till COVID passed. Terence Nielsen could have done that. Keith Rowley could have done that. Stuart Young could have done that. Faris Arawi could have done that. Colm Imbert could have done that. But they didn't. And everything that they say now, and everything that they do now, everything is trying to put Pandora, to put whatever it was, escape Pandora's box, back in the box. Janelle Gay Levy. Herd immunity is a real thing. But what people don't understand is, and I just told you, measles still exists. Smallpox, chickenpox still exists. Polio still exists. SARS still exists. MERS still exists. They don't die and fall off the planet and go to Mars. They keep moving through, cross back to animal, come back to a human. That's how the shit works. And if you think that shutting down the country will end it, no problem. Let's just say that we took this shutdown seriously. Let's just say we treat Christian Mute and KFC the way we treat the double sellers and shut him down too. Let's say that my favorite roti shop in Santa Cruz that closed tonight because curry seems to be an infection path. But fried bullshit American franchise food, that's I. Buying the doubles in open air, in hot sun, will put you in danger. But going in Church's Chicken and KFC and line up cheek by jowl in air condition to order chicken and chips is I. It seems that the recalcitrant minority, as the PNM keeps referring to people of a certain descent, are the ones. Anyway, let me not go down this path now. Let me leave that jackass to deal with that for himself. And the political leader of the UNC, while all this is going on, like she gone mad. She gone out her mind. And nobody could have tell her making videos about you planting tomatoes now is not a good thing to do. You have two choices. You could do like Philip and take this government on head on, or you could do like Vassant and climb up Rowley ass and hope to get some likes and some shares. Because that's what's going on in this country. It's easy to agree. I could come here and agree. I was the one who said shut it down. Jerome Gerard Stone, one of my longest friends of life, said to me, "You're contradicting what you said a month ago." I know I am. I said so. Shut down was January. That time passed. We have it here now. Now we have to manage it. You can't shut down now. What's it shut down for? What's it for? The time to shut it down, gone. You let 70,000 people in the country without us. How do you do? You let a PNM senator rent an Italian cruise ship, bring coronavirus to the shores, put a set of old PNM fogies, send them out at sea to incubate, bring them back, shuttle them through. You didn't take them off the boat and put them in a guest house, you know. You shuttle them through the whole blasted country, all the way up to Balandra, no less. Bring them back down the road when they're infected, no less. It's like we're trying to infect people. It's like this government has a vested interest in infecting people because nothing that they've done to date, nothing, until you, who still parroting, shut down. I seen people who live in Goodwood Park giving noise on Facebook to people who in the road in the Beatum. How they affecting you if they get COVID-19? You going in the Beatum to line? No, hush them out. You bringing them from the Beatum in Ascot Road? No, hush them out. You're overdoing it now. We overcorrecting. Stop it. The only thing that makes sense, I hear they want to take it to April 30th now, this lockdown that is a shakedown. Because that's what it is. It's a shakedown. Your lockdown doubles so KFC could sell. This is not a lockdown. This is a shakedown. You lock down small parlor so Price Mart and Massey could sell. This is not a lockdown. This is a shakedown. This is a 1% owned and operated political party masquerading as your government, fooling you on the 1% owned and operated media. All of them who work for SABGA singing SABGA hymnal. None of them working against SABGA. None. Here I'm telling you, all of them in one kakada and you not in it. So stop buying the bullshit. And stop parroting it. Stop turning off your brain. Start to think. If only a small percent, no, it's not 30%. It's not 30%. The people exposed are worse. All of us are exposed, 100% of us are exposed. All 100% of us can contract coronavirus. All 100% of us can have it. Only about 10% of us will get it severe. If so much, it might be less. The working number is 3%. Because if it was 10%, 100,000 people would be in Cora tonight. And it's not. And it will never be. It cannot be. Of the people that get serious cases, but they know that while they was playing a mass and flinging powder on one another, they should have been importing ventilators and training operators and preparing for when coronavirus arrives. But they didn't. So now, the same jackass that told you we have the best healthcare in the world, that jackass is worried that our healthcare system will collapse. Which is it? Which is it, Terence? Is it the best healthcare system in the world? Or could 100 patients collapse it? Which is it? Which is it, Parasram? 44 days of incubation? Can people get it and not show symptoms? Could there have been people, 50 people, get it from Carnival and then they show no symptoms and pass it around like some kind of grotesque, bizarre lotto? 1,000 people get it from them. None of them may show no symptoms. But 14 days to 14 days is 28. We're now reaching April. And then there's all the conspiracy theories. The only thing that makes sense now, because I want to tell you, it's not going away. It's not going away. So you either let them inflict a new world order where you think that if you stay home, you're saving lives. They tell you that, they're bullshitting you, because you staying home and your grandmother staying home somewhere else and you're not seeing your grandmother, you cannot inflict anything on them. So if you all live in the same house, you ought to stay home too. That makes sense. Because what you don't want is the virus coming and going. That's the sensible thing. You don't want that they're living in a house with you, the elders. A man called me on the phone. He said, I have 2 elders in my house. They don't go out, but I have to go out. I'll bring the coronavirus home. I said, no. If you can't move out, then you have to lock down with them. You don't have a choice. That is a proper isolation. That is a proper quarantine. And to all the people who cussing you, because you're in the grocery, but your mother son go back home now, you're killing people. Let their groceries run out now. Let their child pampers finish. See if they ain't down on the low in Superfarm. Eh? Let them run out of tampons. What do you do? And everybody have to live? Or just you? You always talk. Some of you all talk from a position of so high that you have no care or regard for anybody else. And that is why Trinidad is a shit show. Because we all, like crabs in a barrel, climb up on one another to get to the top. But we're only there for so long as it takes for another crab to pull us down. Eric Williams actually was the one who gave us that moniker, crab in a barrel syndrome. And it is the absolute truth. We need, right now, for the government to suspend all corporate taxes. Now I want you to hear me say these things. And if none of these things happen, then you know you're being bullshitted. Alright? If none of these things happen, you know you're being absolutely bullshitted. The government needs to do away with any taxes or any payments of anything for the next 3 months. Not defer it, just consider it paid. For 3 months, you have a tax amnesty, nothing due. When the government does that, it instructs the banks, we are not taking a payment from you. Do not take payments from anybody with a loan. Anybody. This is in the Bible, you know. That's in the Bible. The king had forgive a man who was owing the king. And then the man went and collect from a man who was owing him. The government, as chief collector in our economy, gives everybody a tax holiday for the next 3 months. If they don't announce this in their next press conference, they are bullshitting you. Take it from me. The government abolishes tax holiday April, May, June. Banks, no loan payments, no credit card payments, no deductions from anybody's bank account for any fees or charges for the next 3 months. April, May, June. Once the banks do that, all landlords, no rents, none, no rents. You have no taxes to pay, you have no mortgage to pay, no rent to collect. So now we reach to the mass of people who've just had the biggest expense that they pay lifted off them, their mortgage or their rent and their car loan payments. Those things are off them. So if you tell them stay home, the mall can't charge your business no rent because the government is charging the mall nothing, the bank is charging the mall nothing. All are we pressing pause. We're sticking a pin. If they don't tell you this, they're bullshitting you. At the level of rent, mortgage, and loan payments, if the entire country got a 3-month holiday, the whole panic station would lessen. The government would not have to go into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund to fund people. How do you fund them? You cut a deal with Massey, True Value, the Supermarkets Association, Price Smart, and you make a list. You make a list of basics that worth $500. 3 cases of water, a bottle of oil, 10 pounds of rice, whatever. And you're not negotiating. You're not negotiating. You're taking what they give, and you're going home with it. You're going home with it. And if you have too much rice, you trade with your neighbor. I remember in 1990, I went in a St. James grocery and I bought a case of toilet paper. And my neighbor had a case of corned beef. We was traded. One end in, one end out. Taking care of each other. But you give the people a voucher. And you send the prices in agreement with the Supermarkets Association, because the Supermarkets Association needs the economy to survive. It needs the customers to survive. It needs industry to survive. It needs small business to survive. It needs the economy to survive. So money will be in motion. So as you remove the block and we back to full life, everybody could just pick up where they left off. Just pick up where you left off. It starts at the top. Once you remove loan payments, mortgage, car installment, once you remove that off people's back, everybody will be able to exhale. The TNTech, you're not cutting nobody. Your job is just to provide electricity for the country. We write off all debts. Write off all debts. NGC, TNTech, all that is bullshit. All that is left pocket, right pocket nonsense. All that is himself to himself, both sides. All of it is entries on a spreadsheet. NGC, write off TNTech debt. TNTech, 3 months. Free electricity. Nobody have a problem now. B-Mobile, Digicel, they want to continue to operate in this very lucrative market. You ain't cutting nobody. You're not cutting nobody. Everybody who's normally take $100 a month phone card, put that on their phone. It's not real money to you. It's just profit. So let it run for 3 months. So we will have a country at the end of the 3 months where everybody could just go back about their business. So now, people have their basics in their house. They're not pressed by loan payments. Not even the elderly need to go and fight up and line up outside the banks. Everybody business taken care of. You tell them, cock your ass home. Then we see for the 3 months if we could break the transmission. And I okay with that. But don't tell me, don't come with your Fairway, Sinclair, Gulfview, Valsane bullshit. Lecturing people, telling them stay home and break the cycle and all this cockery because your fridge full and your wallet full and your gas tank full. People outside there suffering. Man looking to borrow the neighbor stove to cook. Running down wildfowl in the yard. People hungry. And a hungry man. And I'm telling all of this. I was alive in 1990. I see people in Goodwood Park and Fairways lose their high-class status when family belly rumbling. Hungriness is a different thing, you know. It's a different thing. Flo. I'll tell Flo, everybody who have cable, we know you're pirate for 10 years. You know you're pirate for 10 years. We ain't charge you. We ain't fine you. We ain't jail you. Here to do. Pay it back. For the next 3 months, nobody pay no cable bill. For the next 3 months, everybody who had basic cable, give them HBO and Cinemax and all the other shit. Let them comfortably sit down home. Let them leave on all the air conditioning in the house. Oh Christ, how difficult it is to understand that if you want to manage behavior, manage the behavior. So Gary Griffith and his team of police could just walk up and down the road and say, should be inside. Sorry, officer. Because people will be cool. People will be cool. But you didn't do that. You had 7 press conferences. And in all 7 of those press conferences, all you talked was political bullshit. And all you did was use the circumstance and the situation to try and buy votes and to try and bribe people and to fool them and into thinking, yes, your air condition running whole day and you're sitting down watching HBO because your foot cock up and everybody on a holiday and it's alright. It's okay now. We're okay, we could do it. But don't tell me that 700,000 people in this country, hungry, desperate, landlord knocking on the door, they ducking and they hiding. Look now, we have to stop judging this country by how well the wealthy doing, you know. When I heard that Norway, who got oil after us, has $1 trillion in their Heritage and Stabilization Fund, I almost got physically sick, you know. I almost puked. Because we are the oldest oil producing country in the world. For a long time, Petrotrin Refinery was the largest oil refinery on the planet. When I heard that Norway, understand, Norway's Heritage and Stabilization Fund earns them in excess of $100 billion a year. 5 million people live in Norway. 5 million. It takes us 60 million TT to run this country. They make 10 times that in interest. Nobody in Norway had to work another day in their life. Their money, compounded money. Norway's Heritage and Stabilization Fund is estimated to own 1.5% of every major stock and share sold in the world. When I learned that, I got physically ill. I wanted to puke. Because we have a little $6 billion. A little nothing. Can't call it a nest egg. It is a nest and it is an egg. They thief everything. Eric and his cronies thief everything. Whatever was left while Chambers was there, when the IMF wasn't working, there was thieving. When Robbie was there was thieving. They had nothing to thief. They thief milk and sugar out of coffee. Manning and the boys thief out. Pandey and the boys thief out. Kamla and the boys thief out. Rowley and this crew. Well, Rowley and this crew gone mad. The Attorney General giving himself leases now. Here him hiding and pretending. Now who's and them doing what they want? You want manhole cover? Look now who's going here. Now is the best time to be a Syrian. Hear what I tell you? Recalcitrant minority. Forget them. Bringing the absolute what? the most powerful in the country. How? How? Inequitable distribution of national wealth, abuse of public office, crime and corruption at the highest level, white-collar criminality destroyed this country and left it a shit show. And there's nothing. I almost went into SIS waste treatment plant just to do a video, just to remind all you, $1 billion lost there. And all that bad news, and I want to tell you, there's a lot of good news. We could work together and get past COVID-19. We still have enough resources. We still have enough equity. We still have enough demand. We still have enough credit. We still have enough goodwill. We still have enough potential that we could do this. We could get past COVID-19. The first step has to be taken is to educate the population. If you are above the age of 60, you owe it to yourself. I tell people, you know, if I was the Prime Minister, I would put on the cigarette packs, smoke as much as you want, you know, but don't come to public health when you get lung cancer. That is the deal. Smoke as much as you want. But we're not treating you for lung cancer if you're a smoker. If you get any kind of cancer, you're paying the bills yourself. And if you're okay with that, smoke away. Because you have to deal with mature adults as responsible people. I would have never passed a seatbelt law. And I tell you, seatbelt saves lives. If you don't want to wear a seatbelt and dead, one less. And I have to be so cut and so dried. It is a waste of resources to police human behavior. It is a complete waste of resources to police human behavior. Everybody should know your mother, your father, your granny, your grandpa at risk. So from today, isolate them. If they come out and they get sick and they're dead, it's on you and it's on them. We ain't counting no more numbers. We ain't terrorizing the nation. 42 case, 93 case, 704 case. Forget it. Big people, big sense. If you've ever been diagnosed with asthma, if you have any condition like the son of Mr. PNM, Balize drinking sycophant, if you know that you fall into the at-risk category, do not put it on me to save you. Save yourself. I'll put things in place so that the ride would be comfortable, but your condition is not my responsibility. It is yours. If you have any immune suppressing condition, if your immune system is depressed in any way, secure yourself. Don't even touch the doorknob. Vernon de Lima tell me on the phone, he said the people in Florida just bring my groceries. He said, no, my grandson bring the groceries, rest it on the steps and leave. Then I come outside and take it and run back inside. And as stupid and as difficult as that sounds, for now, for the next couple of months, that's Adrian Charles, that is bullshit. You cannot be walking around having a serious immune system suppressing issue and not know. You would know your heart beating out of time. You can't run. You can't take a deep breath. Every cold that passes, you're sick. You would know. Your friends would ask you, how your eyes always yellow so? Your nickname would be Yellow Eye. You don't know. Nobody have any serious sickness, don't know. Especially men. Men get the flu, the world ending. The whole world ending. From the time we sinus clog up and we throat horse, that is it. That is it. Call the morgue. We on the way out. We're on the way out. So don't come and tell me this bullshit that people getting surprised that they have cancer. Surprise, you have AIDS. Partner, come on. You have a duty and a responsibility to yourself. Every single year, Dr. Liz Parry is my doctor for over 40 years. Every year, I go by Liz Parry, and she does. Well, no, the doctor before and now her. But for as long as I can remember, she does something called an executive screen. And she checks everything. And she has cards, Cardex cards, fatso, that she's go back to and she's checked. Hey, remember when it was this in 87? And she'd go back and she could check what my cholesterol was last year. Your cholesterol improved, you know, you seen that? She could check. Because I take responsibility for me. But Adrian Charles, too many of you all, I'm saying this to you with an abundance of respect, walking around waiting for a welfare state, for somebody to come along and say, hey, let me check your fever now, let me see your pulse. You have a responsibility to yourself. Vic Labs have about 9 branches in this country. You could go to Vic Labs, roll up your sleeve and tell them, check everything. Check everything. It costs you about $1,000, $2,000, but they will give you results after of your sugar, your acid, because you're a soup. And once you test the ingredients of the soup and you read it, you see and you know. They could tell you if you have prostate cancer without anybody putting their finger up your ass, because they test the prostate cancer cells in your blood. The responsibility, Adrian, is yours, not the government's. You have a duty to yourself to keep yourself fit, to keep yourself healthy, and to know what exactly that means. So I know I'm 20 pounds overweight, because if it wasn't for roti and doubles, and I find my clothes fitting a little different in the past week, and I know it's because they shut down roti and doubles. True talk. That's my addiction. There are people outside there smoking hard, their teeth black, and they're telling me about the government have a responsibility. What about your responsibility? The man who come to attack me, so weed smoking bad? Yes. Yes. Yes, your lungs wasn't made for you to set shit on fire and pull the smoke into your lungs, no matter what it is. But too many of you all walking around reading cockery on the internet. I mean, I'm telling you, and you're fooling yourself. Cigarettes. That is why Red Bull advertises, Red Bull gives you wings. Because there are some of you stupid enough to believe you're going to grow some wings. Because there are people who think smoking weed, lighting something on fire and pulling it deep into your lungs and holding it is actually good for you. It'll improve you. You'll get bigger, better, stronger. It's like a vitamin M. And I cannot fight you for that. Because my whole philosophy in life, I legalize all, especially, you see, from the moment you retire, 65, you could do any drug you want. Any drug you want. Coke, crack, weed, quaaludes, peyote, inject it in the front, in the back, don't matter to me. Old people doing drugs, it's not the same as young people doing drugs, because no matter how sprung some old people are, they can't climb over the wall to break in your house to get money. You ain't buying no shoes from no old man down the road looking to get a rock. Let them get high. And I don't think that the state should be policing human behavior. If you climb up on a building and jump off it, you should have the decency to have left some money to clean up your mess. Serious talk. I have counselors that I go to when I don't feel mentally 100%. And I go and talk to therapists because I deal with a lot and I take on a lot, and sometimes I need to talk to somebody, so I like to go to people. But I took responsibility for myself a long time ago. So my mental well-being, my physical well-being is all my responsibility. And a lot of the reason I'm a little overweight now is because I don't have time to go to the gym. Carnival Friday 2019 was the last time I was in the gym. And I joined the freaking gym. I joined back the gym 1 year, 1 week later, and they shut down the country. And I tell Miss Ibrahim, I won back my month. Because I joined today and they shut down the country tomorrow. I won back my month. I go in the gym. Let me tell you something, I just run around the savannah. And I the kind of man that lazy. I don't want to be running unless something chasing me, but I know it healthy, so I'm doing it. I think it is the most ridiculous and stupid waste of human time and energy to go in a gym to lift up something heavy just to put it back down and then do the same thing again and again and do 3 sets of 10 of those. But I do it because the research says that you lose lean muscle mass every year, and that the more lean muscle mass you lose, your muscles get porous. I mean, your bones get porous and break easy. So I don't want that to happen when I get old. I don't want to fall down and break hip. All the thing you could do, cancel and rebuke that. I want to stay strong and I want to stay fit for as long as possible. Adrian Charles, again, all of that is conspiracy theory bullshit, but you could believe it, you know, son. You could believe it and you could post it, but you shouldn't be telling people that. What you should be doing is you should be fixing yourself. If I run around the savannah, it's better I smoke, then let me run around the savannah. And if you say that, then you should be on the front line with me for all them little boys and girls selling hops bread for kiss, standing up at junctions where traffic is stopped at all the time and they breathe in carbon monoxide 8 hours a day. Weed gonna make you lose weight too. Yeah, I see they have a sprung of that. Listen, all of this is to make this point. We could fix this, even this. Because if we can't fix it now, let's ask a stupid question. Let's ask a stupid question. 30 more days of lockdown. And cases still climbing. We ain't flattening no curve. But by then, the economy in trouble. By then, people have lost their homes, their businesses, their jobs, their savings, their will to live. By then, what are you going to do? And if you could transport yourself 30 days from now and realize that it didn't make a difference, whatever you think we should do then, you should start doing it now. And I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago and the world that means self-isolation works, yes, for the elderly and those at risk. Quarantining absolutely works. Stay home, yes, for the elderly and those at risk. Let the rest go back out to work, because the economy and the democracy is at risk. And if we don't pay attention, we will end up in a crisis. Here when I come in here now. Perfect time. Why yeah? Why yeah? The same people who was bad talking me when I was saying shut it down before Carnival, them bad talking me now for saying it's too late to shut down now, move forward. Now they want to shut down. Is it that you're just bad talking me because you lag behind? Vote for we and we will set you free. Anywhere you turn, somebody chanting to we. Somebody promising jobs for all. Some renting funds to make other people ball. But somebody promising more police cars. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. In this tale from a strange land, the chant of the madman is the only salvation. I say the chant of a madman. In this tale from a strange land, the chant of the madman, Lord, is the only salvation. Let me tell you one thing before I go. We are not stopping. The Progressive Empowerment Party is a force that is growing. We have decided from the moment we put foot to ground and rubber to road that this movement was created to rescue Trinidad and Tobago, to undo and redo, to reboot the republic, to add sense and common sense to the madness, to break the trajectory, to stop the insanity. The Progressive Empowerment Party was created and set in motion for a better Trinidad and Tobago. Every single thing that we have said from January 18, 2017 has come to pass. Worse, every single policy that we, listen now, there are things that I know right now that going to fall, that I'm watching, and I'm not giving these sons of bitches our next heads up. I'm waiting and I'm writing it down. The team, the leadership team of the Progressive Empowerment Party know that it's going to fall, and they're not even seeing it. Why? Because they operate this country, whatever on the plate, I eating that now. Policy by VAPs, government on the hoof. We're doing what we feel like. Throw it at the wall, whatever it hit, we call that the target. You can't continue to run a country like that. Trinidad and Tobago is a shit show because we fail to hold governments to account. We fail to hold them to the promises they made when they campaigned for the job. It is time to stop that. The people of Trinidad and Tobago have always deserved better. We need your help, we need your financial assistance, and this is tough times. But if you help us, we will be there to help you going forward in the future. The Progressive Empowerment Party is working right now to start Soup Saturdays next week Saturday, and to continue on till we could have soup kitchens running every single day, north, east, west, central, south Tobago. That's happening, is launching at headquarters 19 Stanmore Avenue next week Saturday. Soup for everybody. You either bring a bowl or you take it in a cup. No problem at all. If you want to help with that, reach out to Felicia Holder, reach out to Shari Wilson, reach out to Michelle Davis, Akil Camps, Anthony Henry, Maurice Downs, Matthew Gibbs, any of the usual suspects, and all of the above. Satish Ramsaran, Sean Sunarayan. The team is here, willing to work to help you find your way to a better country. And if that is what you want for yourself, listen, we've been talking this talk. Go back and look at my videos. We've put out thousands of hours of videos and millions of words, and all of them actual, factual, correct. All of them, none of them required tarot cards. None of them required us to change our sex. None of us required us to gaze into crystal balls. None of us required us to take money from the 1% and the contract mafia. All we did was come to you and said, this is how it is, this is how it could be, and this is how you get there. And today, every single thing that we've said has come to pass. And every policy we've proposed are being kicked into high gear now as the country realizes only one political party has a vision for this country. We need your financial help. We need you to be on standby and ready to volunteer. There is still a North, East, Central, South Tobago hub. Get involved, reach out to your team leaders, start to work the internet, start to work social media, while other political leaders gone to ground, while some of them hiding, some of them dig a hole and hiding from coronavirus, others outside in the bush planting tomato. The Progressive Empowerment Party is still here, working with you every single day and night for a better country. If you want that, you have to join, stand with, and help us build the PEP. Until tomorrow, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.